All right, as always, we'll start with what consciousness is. Consciousness is information, okay? You know the spiel. I'm information, you're information. We're exchanging information right now. I'm speaking to you through a black phone. That black phone is a black mirror, okay? It's got a bitten apple on the back of the phone. It is knowledge, okay? It was first sold for $666.66. All right? Just so you know that. The occult sciences is integrated into technology, whether we like it or not. Prior to black phones, the seers, the magicians, the occultists, the witches, the mages, the shamans, okay? They used obsidian. Obsidian was basically like a dragon's glass. Black mirror, okay? All right, now that we understand that, let's talk about what I'm going to be talking about. I'm going to be talking about the nature of reality and looking at the probabilistic future via remote viewing and Akashic records. So we get into a nice meditated state. That meditated state, we can access information through the Akashic records. Don't ever abuse the Akashic records. You get kicked out by the guardians, okay? All right. Furthermore, these predictions are just a range of probabilities. So for example, I'm going to shoot out a certain date and say, hey, January 9th or January 8th, the stock markets were going to come within this range. It'll be positive, and I'll give you a range of numbers, and then we look for data points to see how close I came to those numbers and what happened on that date. Same thing with bread and circuses. I've got hockey games, I've got football games, I've done a few on Twitter, okay? Now, earthquakes, same thing. Because we're a part of nature, we're not separated from nature. We're not separated from the earth. We're not separated from the stars, the sun, even each other. The plants, the animals, right? We are all one. We are all God having an experience through our own perception that relays information from our own perception back to God. So God evolves with us and takes care of us. Okay? Now, these range of probabilities with the stock markets, it also goes the same way with earthquakes. Earthquakes, I'm going to give a seismic range. I'm going to give a general location. I'm going to give a general time frame. Okay? I haven't gotten so good where I can get the depth because I've got other things to do, okay? Now, the other thing I'll be looking into the probabilistic future is oil explosions, commercial boats being attacked, okay? So wartime footage. You can go into the probabilistic future and take a look at what's going to happen. You can astral project, kind of look real time, or you can remote view. So I'll be giving examples of remote viewing, astral projection, and Akashic record reading. Okay? All right. Now that that's all been said, and you get a general idea of what I'm talking about, and I hope you understand, I am not a sports bookie, and I am not a stock market bookie either, okay? Or whatever they're called, investors. I'm a magician, okay? And I am completely grateful to have access to the Akashic records and remote viewing, and I'm sharing this with the world, and I'm going to be teaching people how to do this, okay? So now that that's all said and done, and what to expect, let's go ahead and get these with these Facebook posts, okay? Because I'm posting these on Facebook and we're looking for manifestations as well as Twitter. All right, January 8th, 2023. Tomorrow's stock market, negative 78 through 100. That was January 8th. Let's take a look. January 9th, what happens? Negative 112.96. So I was within 12 points. I missed the mark just by 12, but that's not too bad. Okay, let's look at the next one. Stock market, January 23rd, positive 250 through 278. Okay, and I said this on January 21st. All right, so this is what, 48 hours prior. Now let's look what happens on January 23rd. Sure enough, plus 254.07. Bam, I nailed it. Data point. June 6, 2023, Thursday, 6/8/23. Bread and Circuses, Golden Knights 2, Florida Panthers 3. Are you preparing for the next population control plan with a quote mean? Give them bread and circuses, and they will never revolt. All right, now we're looking for 2 days later. What's going to manifest? Because that prediction was made on June 6th. Another June 6th prediction. Tomorrow's stock market closes positive, plus 90 through plus 110. All right, so June 7th for the stocks, looks like it landed on plus 91.74. Bam, data point. I got it. Now let's take a look at that bread and circuses. We got the Golden Knights versus the Panthers on that day, 2-3. Golden Knights 2, Florida Panthers 3. Florida Panthers win. So another data point. Let's go with these earthquakes. Remember, we're part of the earth. We're part of the wind, fire, air, water, ether. Earthquake shaking. Potential for California. There's your pick. On June 17, 2023. California earthquake within 72 hours. There's the time frame. Now we need a seismic activity range, 5.9 to 6.4. Now we're looking for manifestations within 72 hours. Did this manifest and materialize? Bam. We've got a couple of data points here. Now let's take a look at it. This is on June 18th. All right, this was the next day. This is a good example of how it is to look into the future probability of earthquakes via Akashic records. I received the vision of a powerful earthquake close by considering the size of our planet. I asked for a probability of magnitude range, and I got 5.9 to 6.4. Check. 6.4 is what manifested. Then I asked for a time frame. I got 72 hours. It occurred today on 6/18 at 1:30 p.m. Pacific. I made the prediction 19 hours ago, around 6:30 p.m. yesterday on 6/17. I asked for a location. I got California. Now it actualized in Baja California, just south of California. However, just like I explained in my YouTube video, everything is probabilistic. The consciousness system doesn't see the difference between Baja California and California. It sees it as a unity of one part of a continent called California. So I don't see borders. I see land masses, is what I'm trying to say. Now, when we start looking at these pictures, I show you the land masses that I see, and I also show you the evidence on the seismic activity and where the location of Baja California is, as well as the time frame according to the USSG. Okay? All right. Now for this next prediction, make sure you take this with a grain of salt, because the thing I've noticed by accessing the Akashic records and accessing remote viewing far into the future, the farther out you go, the less accurate it is. Because there's just way too many variables that can happen of humanity's free will choice. Humanity doesn't understand yet that they create their own, not only create their own reality, but they together create planet Earth's reality. Okay? This is why the elite constantly distract you and bombard you with negative nonsense, with lower nature activities such as over-sexualization, overeating, bread and circuses, weapons of mass distraction. They already know the nature of reality. They are already established magicians, okay? So before I make this next prediction, make sure that you understand, take it with a grain of salt. It doesn't mean it's going to manifest. This is a very long prediction, and we'll have to wait and see, and I hope I'm wrong. I'm going to repeat that. I hope I'm wrong on this prediction. Okay. June 19, 2023, Tulsi and Rand are the only ones taking nuclear war seriously. Like I said, February 21st, we are at a 70% probability. And on June 6th, I stated it will increase by 1% every month starting in July. And then we have one here with nuclear war and Tulsi, okay? All right. We got a lot of idiots right now running around the planet Earth doing stupid warmongers doing stupid shit. Okay, now that's out of the way. Let's go stocks tomorrow, October 2nd. Now this is on October 1st, 2023. I've got a negative 70 through negative 100. Let's take a look. October 2nd. Prediction, perception confirmed for stocks. October 2nd. Compare the dates and times. Looks like it manifests negative 74.15. So there we go. We've got a data point. We've got compared pictures. All right. Now, October 4th. This one, I believe I do some remote viewing on this one. I want to do it different than just Akashic Records. And so I got a little screen time here, okay? So tomorrow, on October 4th. Tomorrow, October 4th stocks. Now, this was done like around close to midnight. So when I had already did it, I did it on the 3rd, which you can see on the screen time. It just didn't, it was too close to midnight and it went over to the next day. Tomorrow, October 4th stocks, I posted this on October 3rd, but it shows the 4th. Please look at the upper left-hand corner in the video, and it shows red timestamp, which states 11:56 p.m. and matches with the Apple Picture timestamp in the middle, turning to midnight, 12 a.m., October 4th. I also discussed tomorrow's October 4th emergency alert along with another post about it. And so we'll go ahead and play that video. All right, we're going to go into the probabilistic future and look at October 4th stocks. Here we never want to look at the business news futures because that creates a bias. Okay, I'm just opening it up to prove to you that it is the 3rd. Let's go. Let's look at this. It is the 3rd. So first thing first, we're going to clear our minds like this blank canvas here. Ask the question, is it negative or positive tomorrow? Okay. It'll flash in your mind's eye if you're clairvoyant, negative or positive, or a plus sign or a negative sign, or a flash of red or a flash of green to signify positive or negative. If you're clairsentient, you'll hear a ringing in the ear. Left ear may be ringing, so it signifies as a negative. Right ear may be ringing, it signifies in a positive, okay? Or telepathic, clairaudiently, you can hear the word negative or positive. Okay? Right off the bat, positive. It'd be a little bit flat, though. I'm getting flat numbers. The reason why we need a range of numbers is because the probabilistic future is based off free will choice. Millions and millions of people are trading every single day, every single second. For that 8-hour time period, that creates fluctuation. You need to tap into the collective consciousness to pick up the fluctuation. It's kind of tough. So we're going to go ahead and go clear. Come on, man. All right, 10 through 50, 70 through 120, and then 150 to 170. So here, touch and feel, touch and feel, touch and feel, touch and feel. So what am I doing? I'm clearing my mind and I'm feeling. As this pulls up to my finger, is it hot, cold, or lukewarm? If it's hot, it's a bingo. If it's cold, it's a no-go. If it's lukewarm, it's meh. I kind of like these numbers here. It's going to be between here. Either 10 through 50, 7 through 120, 70 through 120. I'm going to go with this one. It keeps bouncing or fluctuating in my mind's eye. It's hard to get a target because it's, it's a lot of free will choice, man. Okay, October 4th. 70 to 120, okay? All right, sit back and wait for manifestations. Oh, and let me just bring this bullshit up. So for tomorrow, with all the conspiracy, listen, 5G frequency is true. It's real. It is a conspiracy. However, it's more of a slow death, cancer kill type shit, okay? We already know that this certain frequencies can either heal you or kill you. This goddamn, these people like slow kills, so it's a slow kill, okay? That's what the whole 5G frequency thing is. There's some other technologies, but that's mostly what it is, a slow kill. Just like they put those goddamn toxins in the food, the air, the water. They like to slowly kill you, cause cancer, make a lot of fucking money, okay? These people are diabolical, all right? That doesn't mean that you're going to turn into a zombie and eat each other. That's nonsense. Your people are already zombies as is, meaning that they're NPCs, okay? Secondly, of all kinds of viruses are going to explode within a cellular level, and then the frequency will set that off and people will have multiple pandemics. That's nonsense too, okay? Listen, you need to learn how to heal yourself. The best way to do it is to fast. If you can fast a minimum of 3 days, your body will generate stem cells, okay? Cleanse the body, you make a stronger connection to God. We're all God's children, even those sons of bitches Satanists. However, you want to cleanse your body yourself. Okay, you're always going to be connected to God, but you want to do it the right way. All right, we'll sit back and wait for manifestations of what this is tomorrow. Okay. And then we have here prediction confirmed within 7 points. I changed it up a little bit this time in the video, and I also explained 5G frequency conspiracies and how the probabilistic future fluctuates with free will choice. One of the many different techniques when remote viewing that I will be teaching. All right, so this is the last, 2 minutes before the stocks close. If we look at the upper left-hand corner there, 12:58. So it's going to, 1 more minute. It's going to close at 1 minute. Now I had said from 70 to 120, but the other one was 150 to 170, and then 10 through 50. Okay, so it's looking like it's gonna lean towards the 150 through 170. I explained in the video that it's extremely hard to get the collective consciousness, free will choice. But it's looking like it's going to close in closer to the 150s. But I'll take the hit. That's okay, because it was, I had put that range. Okay, now it's dropping 142. We'll see where it closes at. 141. All right, I think it's going to close. Yeah, looks like it closed at 1. We'll see. Let's wait like 10 more seconds. Whoa, haha, yeah, baby. Woo, 125.85. I was only out 5 points, baby. That's how it's done. Okay, I'm going into October 10th now. Next prediction. Tonight's Bread and Circuses, Golden Knights versus the Kraken. And then we went ahead and did a little video here. We'll see it now. All right, today is the 10th, as we see here. We're going to go into the it's around 4:25 my time. We see here. We're going to go into the probabilistic future and take a look at this Kraken Golden Knights game. Doesn't start till 7:30. It's a couple more hours. We're going to go ahead and remote view that game. Open up the notes. First thing first, let's go ahead and write it out. Kraken versus Golden Knights. All right. Clear your mind. Allow the information to flood in, right? You got to open your mind, clear the mind, expand your consciousness. We need numbers. I got Golden Knights 2-1, 3-1, 4-1 right off the bat. This comes in telepathically.
Touch, fill, hold. Is it hot, cold, warm? Hot, cold, warm. Hot, cold, warm. Golden Knights win 4-1 tonight. Congratulations, Golden Knights. All right, real talk. Listen, we're all one people. What's going on right now is divide and conquer tactics between Israel and Pakistan or fucking Palestine. All right? Jew, Muslim, doesn't matter. You're one brother. This is the work of black magicians within the banking industry. They want to make a lot of fucking money. Period. End of story. So fuck the Illuminati and fuck the New World Order. These are divide and conquer tactics. I'll say it again and again and again and again. They just want to make a lot of money, depopulating the planet, going to war, feeding the military-industrial complex. All right? Take your awareness back away from the false idols in the entertainment industry, in the music industry. All right? Own your own power. Golden Knights tonight win 4-1. Congratulations. Go ahead and tune in the last few minutes. About 14 seconds. Oh, there we go. 4-1. Bingo. All right. Congrats, Golden Knights. Went ahead and remote viewed another game. And it looks like we nailed that, okay?
And then I go into confirmed remote viewing, future probability, Golden Knight versus Kraken. Okay. And I don't like these Illuminati fucks, deep state, mainstream media, warmongers, military industrial complex, New World Order. Okay. Fuck them all. We're all one consciousness. Don't fight amongst each other, okay? Jews and Muslims, Jews, you're one brother, okay? Jews and Arabs, Christianity, Buddhism, we're all one family. But unfortunately, these entities want to invoke revelations.
All right, we're going to go ahead and remote view tonight's Golden Knights game. Going into the probabilistic future. As we see here, it is 5:12 a.m. Game starts at 5 p.m. That's 12 hours away. Clear the mind, just like this blank notes. Golden Knight versus Blackhawks. Ask the question, who wins tonight, Golden Knights or Blackhawks? Golden Knights. Now we need some numbers. I got 5-3 Golden Knights. I'll also leave some footage of these elite bastards trying to depopulate us.
All right, so now we're going to look and see if what manifested, okay? And sure enough, what manifested was the score I had said. Vegas Knights 5, and then Chicago 3. I'm going to go ahead and repeat this because this is very important. This happened in 2020, okay? It's the election. Take my experience with a grain of salt. As I stood in line doing my due diligence to vote early, I received a smart electronic voting card. I practiced an ability called psychometry. If you don't know what that is, you grab an object, this object has information on it, and you can psychically pull and extract information from the object that you touch, and you can receive the information in your mind's eye, whether they come through pictures or telepathically, okay? The information I received was corrupt file. Later on that day, I dug a little deeper and went into deep meditation and received visions of the probabilistic future, and here's what I saw. Remember, this is October 23rd, 2020. Trump and Biden's election is in the air due to malfunctioning software glitches, aka votes being manipulated. This creates confusion, fear, and anxiety amongst the masses. The end result is more political theater. Meanwhile, the American people and the world suffer under the hands of the corrupt politicians, technocrats, globalists, nationalists, China, anarchists, hackers, and whoever the hell else wants to be attacking the superpower called the United States of America. Welcome to the game. And what is the game? The game is a VR simulation that you are in, okay? This isn't real. This is all simulated reality going on within your consciousness via download stream, okay, and projecting out into the world, okay? Essentially, it is, the universe is mental, okay? Quote from the Kabbalion. Now, don't take that knowledge and fuck around. You should take your simulated reality and involve your consciousness seriously. You should not play Grand Theft Auto in your own VR simulation, shooting up the store clerks and doing stupid shit, because you're de-evolving your consciousness and you're building a lot of karma. Dharma is the currency in the non-physical. Okay? You're trying to pass the class over here in this school called Earth. All right. Now, update, October 23rd, 2023. 3 years later, and look at the state of the world. When you violate cosmic law like free will choice of the American people 2020 election, and you violate natural laws such as poisoning the 5 elements, air, chemtrails, smog, water, microplastics, ocean, fluoride, earth, deforestation and terraforming, fire, nuclear weapons, hydrogen bombs, and now ether, Wi-Fi, EMF, 5G frequency, you end up like our ancestors in the past, hashtag Atlantis. We play God with our abominations, nanotechnology, genetic experiments, and now the law of cause and effect comes into cosmic play. There is no escaping cosmic law. You are here to learn and evolve your consciousness. Even that means if you have to learn the hard way, which humanity has chosen, at this point, it is wise to be authentic and not to create delusions of superficial optimism. Superficial optimism of fake it till you make it, fake positive energy, is not going to save you. Start prepping. All right. Let's go. October 25th, 2023. Bread and circuses for Friday's confirmation of the prediction comes with a learning lesson. All right, let's hear what that learning lesson is.
All right, so this one's a little different. This one isn't remote viewing. This was getting access to the probabilistic future via Akashic record. Went ahead there and looked for the numbers. Since people pay attention to so much of these bread and circuses rather than what's going on in the real world, right? Kind of got to educate them through the bread and circuses, those that have the eyes to see, ears to hear. So we're refreshing the page. Looks like they're 7-0, but don't let that fool you into looking into the probabilistic future. So last time I showed how to remote view it. That's only one way of remote viewing. There's multiple ways. This one is just Black Hawk versus Golden Knight. We've got 4-3. This one I just did by meditation. So looks like Golden Knights lose. They were going for 8-0. Looks like it's going to be 7-1 for that record. And of course, this, and let's go ahead and verify that. This is going to be attached to a learning lesson of metaphysics, because that's what the world needs to actually figure out just what the fuck is going on instead of paying attention to these bread and circuses.
But let's talk about the Illuminati. After all, based on everything that I've been able to come up with and research, really that's the very essence of the problem in this country today and around the world, really. And it was founded on May the 1st, 1776, by Adam Weishaupt. He was a German, and the basic philosophy of the Illuminati was superior beings with superior intelligence have the right to rule those less gifted because the masses don't know what is best for them. Weishaupt organized the Illuminati to put the plot into execution. The words Illuminati is derived from Lucifer and means holder of the light, using the lie that his objective was to bring about a one-world government to enable men with proven mental ability to govern the world. He recruited about 2,000 followers. And these included the most intelligent men in the field of the arts and letters, education, the science, finance, and industry. He then established lodges in the Grand Orient to be their secret headquarters. And Weishaupt's revised plan required his Illuminati to do the following things to help him accomplish their purpose. Number one, use monetary and sex bribery to obtain control of people already occupying positions in high places in the various levels of all governments and other fields of human endeavor. Once an influential person had fallen for the lies, deceits, and temptations of the Illuminati, they were to be held in bondage by application of political and other forms of blackmail and threats of financial ruin, public exposure, and physical harm, and even death to themselves and to their loved ones. I ran across this book, and it's a dynamite book. I didn't author it. I've written the book, How to Locate Anyone Anywhere Without Leaving Home. And I had an opportunity to talk to Galen Ross Sr. when I went through San Marcos, Texas. And he has a brand new book that's called Who's Who of the Elite. And it identifies the members of the Bilderbergs, Council on Foreign Relations, Trilateral Commission, Skull and Bone Society, and the Committee of 300. And it's a little expensive. It sells for $30. But I'm telling you, I think it's worth it. And what I think you should do, if you have the $30, is buy this book and sit down. When you watch television, look up these names alphabetically, and I think you'll be surprised to learn how many of these people are in positions of authority and influence. Anyway, that's my time. Thank you very much. You might hold it up? Yeah. This is available, by the way, through our office. We also have a number of other books that are available. Corruption, Satanic Cult Drug Network, The Mystery of the Carefully Crafted Hoax, How to Locate Anyone Anywhere Without Leaving Home. Patty helped type on that, I think, Patty, didn't you? And that's, by the way, it's great to see some of my old friends out here. Thank you very much for coming. Is that it? Thanks a lot.
Sure enough, Chicago 4, and then Big and Ice 3. There we go with a data point. Volcano, Southern Hemisphere eruption, level 4 to 5, next 72 hours. Well, that's interesting. We've got two pictures here of a volcano that I looked into the Akashic Records, and then I go explain in this video of what I saw. So I've got 2 out of 3 data points the next day. Okay, I'm sorry, 3 days later, November 11th. 2023 has looked like when it manifested itself. 2 out of 3 data points confirmed for prediction, and it looks like Facebook updated to prove it was 3 days ago on the date of 11/8. So 2 out of 3. Southern Hemisphere, I did not get. Turns out that the volcano eruption was in Northern Hemisphere because it was in Iceland. Level 4 to 5, check. Volcano eruption, check. And then we can go ahead and I explain what it looks like to look into the Akashic Records. Okay? We have pictures of the earth and volcanoes and a couple of videos of the Icelanders going through their earthquakes. Okay.
All right. So we're going to talk about consciousness, looking into the probabilistic future via Akashic Records, getting into a nice deep meditation state. What comes up when you see the Akashic Records? Pictures and the visions and things of that nature, okay? And we'll start with Facebook post here, okay? It says 2 days ago, but it was actually on Wednesday morning, and I'll show you the pictures. So Wednesday morning, I went ahead and got into a deep meditative state and wanted to look what was going to happen that was significant within the next 72 hours. And I got a vision of a volcano erupting. Okay, the vision is an actual movie. That's how I know I'm in the Akashic Records, and you can go forward and backwards in the movie. But when you first start out, usually you just get images into the mind's eye. So like these two pictures here are just the images, right? And the key is to, if you can sustain the images, like how long can you hold on to the image into your mind's eye? And then like, once you get good at that, then you can actually like play the actual movie itself. So you can go forward and backward, okay? All right. Back to the prediction. Volcano, Southern Hemisphere eruption, level 4 to 5 next 72 hours. So data points. The volcano, Southern Hemisphere. A volcano is not in the Southern Hemisphere. It is in the Northern Hemisphere. So I do not get a data point for that. Okay. And I can go into the details on why I think that is. Level 4 to 5, that is a data point. So I get 1 for that. And then within the next 72 hours, that did manifest itself. Okay. So I've got the time frame pretty good, and then I've got level 45 good. So that's got 2 data points and then none for the hemisphere. So let's go to the pictures here. And where are we at? Pictures. So look up top. It says Wednesday, 7:39 a.m. Okay, Wednesday, 7:42 a.m. So I posted this actually on Wednesday. So when we open this up, though, what we're looking for is those data points, right? So this is the currently where Iceland is, and it'll tell you like the 4 levels here, right? We've got green, yellow, orange, red. When you zoom in, we see that we're on the level orange, okay? And they actually evacuated these towns, all right? And then we can verify these levels that the volcano alert levels are at, okay? So I said level 4 or 5, 72 hours. Now we need to look at the hours here, okay? So when we look at Iceland, it looks like it goes back to the 9th, because we're looking for consistency. It happened a little bit on the 3rd, but it wasn't consistent. If you see here, it's just like every other day, every once a week. But it really starts getting into a good, consistent earthquake starting on the 9th, it looks like, okay, according to the USGS. And they did evacuate that town of Grindavik, Iceland. All right. So the 9th was Thursday. All right. And I was making the predictions on Wednesday. So, all right. So we'll talk about like the location and looking into the Akashic Records deep. Okay. So at first, like I said, when you start meditating and you get good at accessing the future probability, you just get the images at first. Okay. And then you want to sustain the images as long as possible and see if you can extract more information from the imagery. And at first they flash quick, but then you can, hold it longer, and then eventually it starts looking into a movie. So it'll look like this. The Akashic Records looks exactly like this, okay? Where you go and you see what happens into the next 72 hours, and you ask the questions, and you receive the information, okay? Most of the time, you'll receive, probabilistic futures of what will happen within the next 72 hours. But the thing is like when you look into the Akashic Records, it's not like their land masses is what you're looking at. You're not looking at it's not like a map where where everything is like detailed and you see this is the United States and this is Mexico, and this is the border of whatever country. And it's not like that. It's just exactly like this, where it's like a movie and they're like land masses. So when I said Southern Hemisphere and it actually ended up in Northern Hemisphere, it's tough to tell like where exactly you like landed at, do you know? So anyways, it's just a matter of just like practice makes perfect, and refining it, and you just get better and better and better at it. All right.
Here we go. November 14, 2023, possible attack on ships in the ocean next 72 hours. And we've got a couple of pictures here of some ships, because when I was meditating, it looked like there was some kind of a military ops going on there in the ocean. And in this video, I explain what I saw.
All right, I'm going to remote view the next 48 hours, 72 hours. See what we have here. Dun, 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 dun. All right, let's see. Clear the mind. I'm always meditating, man. So I just meditated for about 30 minutes prior to this. Then I remote view. If I get anything interesting, then I go back into meditation and kind of fill in the blanks on remote viewing via Akashic record. So these are called ideograms. I'll explain after I'm done with it. All right, so what I'm getting is water here. It's kind of ocean. I'm getting grays. So these gray boxes are like these right here. These are like long ships or long containers. And then this is fire. So, I mean, I'll fill in the blanks when I meditate via Akashic records, but that's what I've got. I've got fire, explosive fire. I've got gray ships. And then I've got in the water. So we'll see what I got coming in the next 72 hours.
Okay, so November 20th, 2023. Looks like the remote viewing meditation took an extra day or two to manifest. So 96 hours instead of 72 hours. A shipping container was attacked in a military operation from the naval forces of the Yemen Armed Forces, the Houthi. 72 hours, off by 24 hours, so I did not get a data point for that. Ship containers attack, check. Fire represents attack, check. In water, check. 3 out of 4 data points. Footage of military attacks on container ships. Stop World War III, Israel-Palestine conflict, Iran-Israel Christ consciousness, okay? So here we go, we compare the pictures.
ايوه جبت فلاش وقف
has confirmed to Al Jazeera that their fighters have hijacked a ship owned by an Israeli businessman in the southern Red Sea. At least 22 people were on board the Galaxy Leader, which is en route to Turkey from India. The Israeli military have called the situation a very serious event on a global level. Sarah Khairat's joining us from West Jerusalem to tell us more about the reaction coming out of there, Sarah.
Yeah, well, we've heard from Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's office saying that it's actually 25 crew members. None of them are Israelis. It says that some of those on board are from Ukraine, Mexico, as well as the Philippines and Bulgaria, but no Israelis on the ship. Also saying that that vessel is actually a British ship operated by a Japanese company, but from what we understand is it's partly owned by a multi-millionaire Israeli businessman that's in the shipping business, and this would mean that this isn't the first time one of his ships have been intercepted. In fact, in 2021, one of the ships that he owned was targeted by, at the time, what Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu had said was Iran, even though Iran had, at the time as well, denied that. Well, here we are today, 12 hours post a video that was released by the Houthi, the Iranian-backed Houthi rebels in Yemen, who had released a statement via video saying that they will begin targeting ships that they deem as Israeli because of the escalation and because of the situation in Gaza. Now, if you actually look at the map, it's a strategic location because a lot of those ships that enter via that bottleneck as you go up in the southern parts of the Red Sea, up all the way to the top, will eventually lead you to the Suez Canal. And that is a main shipping lane and a main international shipping lane for the whole of the world that would pass all the way from Asia to bypass going all the way around Africa. It would cut through that Red Sea and onto Europe. What we understand is the ship was heading from Turkey to India, and that just gives you an idea of how strategic that location is and how much the Houthis are really going for attacks against Israel. They are at least attempting to, with the drone attacks or drones that they've managed to fly to Eilat in the southern part of Israel, and now this. Obviously, the international community will probably be quite concerned given the situation.
Yes, Sarah, as you're saying, I mean, we've seen attacks on the Red Sea, particularly on Eilat in the past couple of weeks since October the 7th, but this is the first time that a ship has been hijacked in this way. What do we expect the Israelis to do next?
Well, last time this happened in 2021, when that explosion happened on that ship, it took time, of course, to say that Iran was behind it. But this time it's been very quick to blame Iran. Even though Israel says that it's not fighting a war on several fronts, it's trying to focus on Gaza. But it seems to be that this has become a regional concern where you have the Houthis in Yemen that are trying to target Israel. You also have the armed group Hezbollah, which is also backed by Iran on that southern border with the northern border, rather, with Lebanon. So it will be a major cause for concern because this really does show another level of escalation. You had several attempts by the Houthis in terms of sending those drones to try and strike Israel, especially in that southern area in Eilat. One of them had actually seemed to have been a mistake that ended up hitting or targeting an area in Egypt, in Al Arish, in that part of the country. But here you are now. This will be a major concern, especially for those shipping companies where millions and multi-million-dollar business that could also effectively affect the trade that will be going through from Asia via the Middle East to Europe and vice versa.
Thank you, Sarah. We'll let you go for now. Thank you for that update. That's Sarah Khairat reporting for us. So now let's bring in Dorsa Jabari to find out whether there's been any Iranian reaction, Dorsa, to Israel quickly pointing the finger at Iran.
Yes. Well, first of all, there has been no evidence put forth that Iran is behind this. This is an accusation made by the Israeli Prime Minister's office without any concrete evidence to support the allegations that Iran is behind this. Now, Iranian officials in the past few weeks, since the October 7th,
نفذت القوات البحرية في القوات المسلحة اليمنية بعون الله تعالى عملية عسكرية في البحر الأحمر كان من نتائجها الاستيلاء على سفينة إسرائيلية واجتيادها إلى الساحل اليمني. إن القوات المسلحة اليمنية تتعامل مع طاقم السفينة وفقا لتعاليم وقيم ديننا الإسلامي. إن القوات المسلحة اليمنية تجدد تحذيرها لكافة السفن التابعة للعدو الإسرائيلي أو التي تتعامل معه بأنها سوف تصبح هدفاً مشروعاً للقوات المسلحة، وتهيب بكل الدول التي يعمل رعاياها في البحر الأحمر بالابتعاد عن أي عمل أو نشاط مع السفن الإسرائيلية أو السفن المملوكة لإسرائيليين.
Next up, November 22nd, 2023. Golden Knights and Dallas Stars. Tonight, bread and circuses attached to a learning lesson. Okay? And there we go. Sure enough, the next day it manifested Golden Knights 2-1. Or I'm sorry, that that following night. And then I prove with the hours of the difference hours time frame that I looked in the probabilistic future, and then we can hear the learning lesson.
All right, bread and circuses for the night. We got 2-1. Golden Knights win tonight, 2-1. All right, bread and circus is going to be attached to a learning lesson. Let's get with these learning lessons. So, let's talk about King Solomon. King Solomon was a magician, okay? He had lesser and greater keys of Solomon. 72 entities can be invoked during the invocation ritual. Look at my wolf. Oh, she's got my back. So 72 entities can be invoked during an invocation ritual. Each entity has its own specific skill set and is attached to an electromagnetic signature called a sigil. So those he was from the house of David, a house of magicians, and built the first temple in Israel. Okay, so hey, what's wrong? What's wrong? She's my spirit animal. She's got my back. So, house of David, right? They're never really going to teach you that in Judaism. You find out this information maybe if you study the secret teachings of Torah or Kabbalah. Okay. Uh-oh, what are you doing? Where are you? There she is. Oh, my wolfie. So you might find that out, like I said, in the secret teachings, but they're never going to tell you that, like in mainstream Judaism. Same thing with, like Islam, man. You guys are powerful magicians, man. You've got Sufism and you've got Zoroastrianism, and then you guys got like the temples in Egypt and, the pyramids in Egypt and Samaria, man. It's like the original source. So again, you guys are both brothers. Okay, so this whole, you guys divide and conquer tactics going on in the Middle East is these Illuminati motherfuckers, okay, that are trying to invoke revelations. So don't fall for the divide and conquer tactics. Now let's talk a little bit about Freemasonry. Freemasonry, man, these guys. So they build their temples and their lodges that mimic a blueprint of King Solomon. So the left and right hand path, which means black magic, white magic, that's where you see the checkered boards of black and white and the middle pillar and the rituals of King Solomon, because King Solomon was a magician. These guys. So any organization, man, can become corrupted with black magic because the temptation there is the power. Power, absolute power leads to absolute corruption. That's the deal with power. So you always have to self-reflect. So especially if you start using your magic and your power to infiltrate positions of power, such as politics, you're going to end up in a messy situation, which is exactly what's happening in the world. Do I believe all Freemasons are this way? Absolutely not. I think each lodge is different. Each lodge should partake in only white magic, or maybe possibly gray magic, but that's a rare situation. But yeah, no, definitely white magic. And unfortunately, if you don't check your organizations or quote-unquote fraternities, they can turn on you real quick. So, interesting enough, our founding fathers, quote-unquote founding fathers, because Native American shamans were here first, they were Freemasons. So, in essence, Washington, D.C. itself is a ley line, powerful, consecrated area, right? So start thinking obelisks and the way the Pentagon is designed. These ley line energy forces can be channeled into the spiritual realm to empower, politicians. But don't get that twisted into it affecting your reality. The problem is, again, power corrupts. So you have to drain the swamp. Thus, Trump comes in and tries to drain the swamp, and then, he gets fucking shunned. Some psychics out there were able to foresee what was going to happen in the election. So what do we do, right? What the fuck do we do? Well, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to empower myself. I'm going to stick with white magic. I am going to learn how to continue my practice in telekinesis, telepathy, clairvoyancy, manipulation of weather, divination, manifestation of materialism without ego attachment, without emotional attachment, because my goal is not to be a fucking billionaire and then hang out with Oprah and fly private jets. No, you should use your magic to heal, protect, and resurrect. That's what I think, and that's what I'm going to do. So anyway, that'll be your learning lesson along with your divination.
Okay, next up, we've got Bread and Circus, hashtag Raiders, hashtag Kansas City Chiefs. This is on November 25th, 2023. Let's hear the video.
All right, tomorrow's Bread and Circuses. We got KC 31, and then we got the Raiders at 17. 31-17 KC. All right, Bread and Circus is going to come with a learning lesson. That learning lesson is going to be egregores. Egregores is basically an entity that can manifest itself as long as it has enough awareness and feeding and manifest into a physical, such as a logo or a mascot. So, what am I saying? Every Sunday and Monday, the collective consciousness gets together and represents their town, their city, their state in a logo that represents itself as a sigil. Because everybody has their awareness and energy flows where awareness goes, and everybody's jumping up and down, increasing their emotion, hollering and screaming, like the 500-pound guy that doesn't have a top on, showing his big tits everywhere, wearing this face paint here, woofing down a hot dog and drinking his beer. That generates a lot of energy for that specific team. And then he gets upset, and then, the team starts losing, and he gets in a brawl, and then it becomes gladiators. So, yeah, that specific logo and mascot, basically, generation after generation after generation, what it does is it builds economic revenue for that town and city, job creation and things of that nature. And then it has a life of its own. Basically, the soul of the city becomes that mascot or that symbol, sigil. And voila, you have a egregore. It just needs constant feeding, which it gets every Sunday and Monday. So, if magic didn't exist, it would have died out a long ass time ago, but it exists. That's why it's still around, because it's the nature of reality. So instead of the church condemning everybody and burning them to the stake, now we have these motherfucking bloodline families that basically take your awareness and make a product and then sell that product to you, getting rich. So it's like flip the script, okay? Where key focus is just to get your awareness so that you can buy their product, man. I'll leave a couple audio clips of Norvell's occult science, and then getting rich off the stock market, which I have no interest into, man, because this is just a fucking illusion and Maya anyway. We all have to make a living. Everybody wants to be financially secure. I get that, but you don't need to be a fucking billionaire, dude. Then fly around the fucking private jet.
And then we look to see for manifestation. Sure enough, 31-17 is what manifested. So data points. Okay, November 29, 2023, let's go with some earthquakes. 80% probability of a 6.3 to 7.2 earthquake, tsunami around Indonesia region, next 5 days. Now we look for manifestations. I've got the picture of the region of Indonesia, and then again, the time frame and the seismic activity range. So let's see what manifested. Sure enough, I misspelled Indonesia. Earthquake manifested in Indonesia region, Philippines. My picture included Philippines. Check, data point. Within 5 days, check, data point. Slight tsunami, 40 centimeters. So it wasn't as big as I had anticipated, but that's okay. I didn't tell you how big the waves were, just that there would be some sort of tsunami. So checked, and then 6.3 to 7.2, the magnitude was slightly off by 0.4. It actually, 7.6 is what manifested in the magnitude. 7.6 magnitude is what manifested. 3 out of 4 data points. One of the verified earthquake sources. And then I go on to say, can science explain and predict earthquakes? Don't trust the mainstream climate science. We are in a 12,000-year cyclical cycle. Okay, so we got a guy out there by the name of Ben Davidson, Suspicious Observers. He can get a bit salty, but that's okay. He doesn't like the New World Order, neither do I. And he's got his shit together when it comes to climate science and the 12,000-year cyclical cycle. And so I would rather go with independent people that know their shit and know about the climate crisis in the 12,000-year cyclical cycle. So make sure you subscribe to him. All right, what do we got here? Let's see. Let's go with the large blast on oil refinery or pipeline. This happened on December 4th, 2023. Hashtag remote viewing, hashtag psychic. Large blast on oil refinery or pipeline bridge nearby affects transformers this week. Let me reread that. Large blast on oil refinery or pipeline bridge nearby affects transformers this week. So in my vision, I explained in the video what I saw.
All right, just turned December 4th midnight. I'm going to do some remote viewing for the next coming up week. Just start with an ideogram here. All right. So, all right, let's see what we got. Let's try to explain this. So here we have some kind of like, these are like fire explosion sparks, some sort of like, I don't know if it's a sabotage or like a blowing up of some sort. And then this is like some kind of like a black oil substance next to some sort of a bridge that when blown up just causes this huge explosion that like, and it's next to a bridge or something that catches fire, stays on fire, and then I don't know if there's like a transformer nearby and then cuts off the electricity. So I got this coming up this week. All right, so today's Saturday the 16th. When you meditate, sometimes, days, weeks, months, they just all become a blur. And so, that's one thing I've noticed me on a personal level I have to work on. Grounding and being in this reality, because a lot of times, me on a personal level, my consciousness is so abstract that I lose track of time and dates and all sorts of stuff. So anyway, what occurred here. Okay, so again, today is the 16th. I made a prediction on the 4th and of remote viewing that there would be, and let's do data points. There will be an oil refinery explosion, possible sabotage, a lot of fire next to some sort of a bridge, and that it would happen within that week, and that was on the 4th. And then we look at December 10th at what manifested itself. Okay. The only data point I didn't get was the transformers. Okay, so here, let's just read this article here. Looks like this manifested itself 6 days ago on December 10th. A fire at a small refinery in eastern Iran's Burjan Special Economic Zones caused 2 explosions on Sunday and remains out of control, Iran state media said. No casualties were reported, but the damage has yet been assessed, state media said, adding that all 18 reservoirs at the refinery have caught fire. The initial stages of the fire consumed 1.5 million liters of fuel, Iran's semi-official Fars News said. So when we go here, let's press play. Let's just watch it.
الو يو ابا الفاس
Okay, so now let's take a look at that area. Okay, so the Burjan's South Khorasan province, Iran, right? So when we map it, this is interesting. So this is the Burjan Special Economic Zone. Let's take a look at these pictures here. So we do see these oil tanker trucks, and then do you see that right there? It looks like a bridge. So that's what comes in the mind's eye here. And then, yeah, let's zoom in on that. Okay, so it looks like a bridge, right? And there it is there. And then there it is there. Okay. So that's a good 4 or 5 data points, with the only thing not manifesting itself is the transformers. All right.
So we look for data points. No transformers, okay, but the data point, sure enough, oil refinery, data point fire explosion, data point near bridge, and then data point this week an explosion of an oil refinery will occur on December 10th. It manifested and materialized. All right, and I posted that, let's see, on December 16th. Okay, so that covers 2023, and then of course 2024 we got the Super Bowl, and I explained these Illuminati fucks, you know, and false idols. Okay, we want to take our power back. We don't want to give them to basically established black magicians within the banking industry, within Hollywood, within maybe certain corporations. These fuckers pretty much have integrated themselves all over the place. All right. So the best thing you can do right now is take care of your health, take care of your diet, get some exercises, make sure you do your meditation, visualization, breath work, learn how to get into an altered state of consciousness. Let's practice telekinesis. Let's practice remote viewing. Let's practice accessing Akashic records. Let's practice weather manipulation. Okay. I've got plenty of evidence on that. And let's evolve our consciousness. Okay.
Sum up. Go ahead and leave a comment, and let me know about your precognition experiences, or if you've interacted with any entities or have had any astral battles. I'm interested to hear about it. Like and subscribe if you like my material. I also run a online school right now called Heart Centered Perception. Okay. Currently right now we have an astral projection course going on every 21st of the month that aligns with the equinox and the solstice. There will be new course material.
That new course of material is listed on the website. To give you a gist of it, it'll eventually be telekinesis, development of clairvoyancy, access to Akashic records, remote viewing, weather manipulation, charging sigils, amulets, talisman, etc., etc., etc. Okay, go ahead and visit that website, like, subscribe, comment on if you like, and thank you very much for your time.